Hello. Is it your first week of nursing clinicals? Well, if the answer is yes to that, stick around and watch this video as I guide you through the things that helped me through my first nursing clinical semester 3 semesters ago. So yeah, just stick around and I will give you a few tips to help you survive this crazy nursing journey. Hi, my name is Simi and I am a senior at a university completing my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, and I am here today to talk to you about first day anxiety. Yes. Um one of my friends is starting nursing school and they just had their first day today, and like everybody that I know, they're really smart, they have accomplished a lot in life, they're very efficient, but just the thought of having to go through a nursing school program and keep up with all of the homework and all of the deadlines is like really terrifying. And it's just it brought me like nostalgic memories of my first day, and I know that this is right around the time of the year where a lot of people are starting nursing clinicals for the first time, and it can be quite overwhelming because your first nursing clinical semester is often the first time where you are being forced to um, think like a nurse, and you're being trained to think in a very critical way. And I remember that like my first clinical semester, my instructors, the dean of my nursing school, she said to us, she's like, look, this is going to be the worst semester of your education. She's like, if you can survive this semester, you're gonna do okay. Of course, this was like way back in pre-pandemic days, but honestly, even with the stress of the pandemic, I don't think I've had any semester that was quite as anxiety inducing at the beginning like that semester. And there are a few things I really learned during that semester that has kind of like helped me, you know, as I've continued on my nursing school journey. And I think one of the best things that I learned was how to organize my life. For a lot of us, especially if you are an older student like me, you're going to school and you are working a lot because you have bills to pay, and you probably have a family and you have, you know, obligations outside of your home that you're also trying to keep up with during this time. And it can seem overwhelming because here you are, first day, first week, and you are really starting to see the extent of the work that you have to do. I mean, for example, for me, that first semester I had like 12 exams, and I had like three different clinical instructors that I was answerable to, that had different homeworks, and I had work that I was doing almost full time as well. And I was, you know, I'm kind of in a privileged position where I don't have a family or I don't have kids that I have to look after, so that wasn't a thing for me. But looking at the amount of work I had to do, I learned how to organize in a way that wasn't too crazy for me. And so what that meant really for me was that I created blocks of time. So I learned to create chunks in my calendar. So I knew, for example, that during the week I was just going to be doing school stuff. So Monday through Thursday was just school stuff. Friday through Sunday morning was work. And then I had like half a day. I think I had a half a day either, I think it was on Wednesday. There was a day where I had clinicals only half that day. So I would do half a day of clinicals, and then the remaining half a day, instead of going home to study if I didn't have an exam, I would take a me day. But I tried every week to give myself a me day. So that was something that I really learned to do, that has helped me over the few semesters, because now and then the other thing I learned was that I also created chunks of time. So like I would wake up early in the morning before my classes. So if my classes started at 9, I would get to school at 7 so that I could study for the first 2 hours before going to class. And that really made a huge difference for me in terms of managing my time, because that was stuff I could automatically do into roll into my life, and that was time I didn't have to think about, what am I supposed to be doing at this point. So that's one simple organizational thing that I learned. The other thing that really also helped me was giving myself a break. So for example, my pathophysiology instructor that semester was like, you don't have to come to every class, you only have to come to class when you have an exam, because you have to do your exam in person. But other than that, I don't need you to come to class every day every week. And it might sound crazy, like, oh my god, you didn't go to class, but here's the thing, my class was recorded, so I could watch the lectures online. I had people in class that I was friends with, that I could ask questions in other classes if there was something I was confused about. I went to the first 4 or 5 weeks, I went to class every week, and then after that I realized that I wasn't sleeping enough. And because I wasn't sleeping enough, it was cutting into my work schedule, because the class was on Friday. It was cutting into my work schedule, because inevitably I would go home and take a nap, and I wouldn't go to work. And of course, I was starting to have financial anxiety. Sorry. So anyway, I gave myself some grace, and I asked myself if it was absolutely necessary for me to go to that class, and the answer was no. I could watch the class online at a better time for me, so I did that. I didn't go to that class unless I had an exam. I know it's unconventional advice, and for some people you feel like you absolutely need to be in class. That's fine. But the point I'm trying to make is that don't create exceptional standards for yourself simply because you feel like that's the way it has always been done, instead of thinking about what works for my lifestyle. And that's also something that my advisor also talked to me about. Like 2 semesters ago, I was struggling in one of my classes, and at my school, when you're struggling in one of your classes, they would usually contact your advisor, and then your advisor would contact you for a meeting. And I remember going to talk to her, and she said to me, she was like, what are you doing, how are you studying? And then I was telling her, oh, I read this and I do this and I do that. And she said to me, she was like, the thing you have to remember is that you just need to pass the class. And at my school, a passing grade for nursing program is 77, so you have to get at least a 77. He's like, if you're doing all this work and if you're putting in all this time into other things that aren't going to help you pass the class because you feel like that's what everybody is doing, you're not actually doing yourself any favors. So you need to figure out what absolutely needs to be done in order for you to pass the class, and what you can get away with not doing and still pass the class. And so giving myself grace is actually it's a time management technique, really, because it taught me to really drill down on what's my study habit, how do I learn best, what are the things that are going to give me the most bang for my buck time wise, and focus on those things. Anything else, I let it go. And then the final thing that really helped me that first semester and really helped me with the anxiety was making a friend. And it's so sad because a lot of you that you're studying nursing school in this period, you know, your clinicals in this period, if you are not doing face-to-face classes, it's hard for you to make friends because it's hard to connect with people one-on-one when you can't like have inside jokes by sitting close to each other. But if you are having you know, if you have a project or a clinical group that is outside of your main, you know, group for school or for your class, I would recommend finding one or two people in the group to reach out to. Just, you know, say hello, figure out, you know, if they want to collaborate on a study guide. I know that in my class, there are quite a few people that normally would collaborate together on a study guide for every exam, and it has really bonded them together. I have what I call a nursing school partner. We tend to exchange information about the schedule and keep each other on track. And I'm not a big study guide person, she's a big study guide person, so there are other things that I am good at. Like, I'm really good at listening to lectures and being able to pinpoint what I feel like the instructor is like harping on or is really concentrating on, and, you know, pulling them from the document and highlighting them so that she knows, you know, that's what we need to focus on for that section. I'm also good at like encouraging people. So anyway, you need to find yourself someone or a group of people that you can, you know, have a sense of camaraderie with, because trust me, there have been times when I wanted to give up, and my nursing school partner is like, no, you're not giving up, because we're gonna do this together. I'm not gonna suffer alone. And there have been times when she's like, oh my god, I can't do this, and I'm like, you know, you promised me that we're gonna graduate together, so you have to be here and you have to graduate with me. So it sounds like a joke sometimes, but it's really been like really helpful. Yeah, some of the things that I've learned. And I think the other big thing for me was, no matter how busy I am, I still keep in touch with my friends and my family. Like, I talk to my mom a lot. I text her about, you know, what's going on. I have regular times for calling. When I have like my downtime, like that me time, a lot of times my me time is me spending time with my friends and visiting my godchild or my godchildren at this point. So yeah, those are the things that have helped me. The one thing I want you to know as you go through this first week and this first month is that what you do now, it's not gonna dictate the rest of your life, which sounds kind of weird, because a lot of times when people say that, it's like what you do now is gonna dictate the rest of your life. No, what you do now is not gonna dictate the rest of your life, unless of course maybe if you drop out. I mean, even if you drop out, it's still not going to dictate the rest of your life, because honestly, I know people that dropped out of nursing school because they weren't ready, and then they took a year off, or they went through a different path. Like maybe they decided to go do and become a CNA, then become an LPN, then become an RN instead of doing the BSN program, and it has worked fine for them because they just needed to find a different path for them. So the point I'm trying to make is that what you do now does not dictate the rest of your life. Give yourself a lot of grace. If you are struggling, reach out to your instructor, reach out to your teaching assistant. Oftentimes nursing schools would also have like they'll have like tutors as well. So familiarize yourself with the resources that you have at your disposal and make use of that. But most importantly, have faith in yourself, have faith that you're smart enough, and you have everything it takes to succeed in nursing school, and persevere. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it is giving you some confidence, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or to follow me on my Instagram. I would leave my Instagram handle on screen. Yeah, it's been lovely talking to you. Yeah, and I look forward to having more conversation. Bye.